The apartment door clicked open, and a rhythmic hum from down the hall caught my ear, a gentle chorus of voices mixed with an elusive sound. Davis was home, but this sound was unsettling. A nagging curiosity and foreboding pulled me forward. As I neared his door, the sounds became clear, low, urgent breaths interspersed with soft moans. My heart pounded, palms slick with sweat. Pushing past hesitation, I slowly turned the doorknob. The door creaked open, revealing Davis and Anna intertwined on the bed, bathed in a soft golden light. The air was heavy with their desire. Davis's eyes flew open, locking onto mine, his expression shifting from joy to disbelief. Anna gasped, clutching the blanket around her. "Oh my God," I murmured, backing away as the door crashed shut, echoing my shame. The image burned in my mind, a wave of guilt washing over me, yet an unshakable, unnamed warmth coursed through my body. Welcome to Bad Boys Channel, where we reveal true adultery stories with unexpected developments. If you find the video interesting, consider subscribing and liking it. Your support really aids the growth of our channel. Now let's embark on the journey into the story. With a gentle turn, the key engaged the lock, and I nudged the door ajar, entering the cool, softly illuminated apartment. The weight of the grocery bags hung in my hands, the plastic handles biting into my palms, yet I hardly paid it any mind. Having departed from work ahead of schedule, I found myself unable to concentrate, my thoughts swirling with an indistinct feeling of disquiet. In the stillness of the apartment, a gentle hum from the refrigerator filled the air, mingling with the distant whispers of the bustling city beyond the walls. As I placed the bags upon the kitchen counter, the resonant thud of canned goods striking the marble reverberated throughout the room. As I started to unpack, a soft sound reached my ears, a rhythmic, almost melodic tune drifting from down the hall. It wasn't a cacophony, but rather a steady hum, a gentle chorus of voices mingling with an elusive sound that danced just beyond my grasp. With a box of pasta cradled in my hand, I took a moment to pause and listen intently. From the depths of Davis's room, a curious sound emerged, beckoning attention. My stepson was home, a familiar sight, yet the sound that filled the air was anything but comforting. A restless curiosity tugged at my mind, intertwining with an unsettling feeling that began to creep in. What tales were unfolding within those walls? As I entered the hallway, the gentle sound of my heels echoed softly against the polished hardwood floor. The sound became more distinct as I neared Davis's door, breaths, low and urgent, interspersed with soft moans. As the tension mounted, I could feel my heart pounding fiercely and my palms grew slick with perspiration. Though I felt the weight of caution urging me to stay back, an unseen force beckoned me onward, compelling me to take that fateful step. With a gentle touch, I grasped the doorknob, pausing for just a heartbeat before I turned it ever so slowly. The door creaked open, and in that moment, time seemed to stand still as I held my breath, a chill running down my spine. In the softly illuminated room, shadows danced as the curtains hung closed, enveloping everything in a warm golden embrace. In the soft glow of the room, Davis and Anna found themselves wrapped in each other's embrace, their bodies swaying together in a dance that spoke of deep connection and longing. The atmosphere was laden with the aroma of their desire, rich and earthy, intertwined with a whisper of sweetness, reminiscent of vanilla. Davis's eyes flew open, capturing my gaze with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine. In that fleeting instant, it felt as though the very fabric of time had paused. His expression transformed from pure joy to disbelief, his lips parting as if to utter a thought, yet silence enveloped him. Anna inhaled sharply, her cheeks blooming with a deep shade of red as she clutched the blanket and wrapped it around herself. "Oh my goodness," I stumbled over my words, my voice scarcely rising above a breath. "My sincerest apologies, I didn't intend to." I left the thought unfinished. I was unable to do so. Heat rushed to my cheeks as I retreated, the door crashing shut with a finality that echoed my shame. With each thundering beat of my heart, I felt the rhythm resonate in my ears as I made my way back to the kitchen. I rested against the counter, my hands quivering as I struggled to comprehend the scene that had just unfolded before my eyes. In a moment filled with warmth, Davis stood alongside Anna, his girlfriend, sharing a connection that spoke volumes. Just like that. The image etched itself into my memory, striking and impossible to forget. A wave of guilt washed over me, a reminder of the boundaries I had crossed. Yet beneath it lingered an unshakable curiosity, a feeling that eluded my grasp. A peculiar, unwelcome warmth coursed through my being, igniting a tingling sensation upon my skin. I reached for a glass nestled in the cabinet, filled it with cool water, and took a deep gulp, hoping to soothe the frantic rhythm of my heart. What was my next move in this unfolding tale? Imagine if we could just erase that moment from our minds, confront it directly. The mere idea of discussing it with Davis sent a wave of unease through me. As I immersed myself in the task of unpacking the groceries, I sought to cast aside the lingering thoughts of the incident, yet it clung to me like an uninvited shadow, refusing to fade away. The echoes, the fragrances, the expression etched on Davis's face, they lingered in my thoughts, cycling endlessly through my memory. Just as I placed the final can of soup on the pantry shelf, the sound of footsteps echoed softly in the hallway. My breath caught in my throat and I stood still, preparing for the unavoidable clash that lay ahead. As the footsteps faded away, making their way to the bathroom, I exhaled a breath I didn't realize I was holding, a tremor of relief coursing through me. At this moment, my only option was to bide my time, clinging to the hope that the warmth in my cheeks would diminish before our paths crossed once more. As I stood by the stove, my spoon danced through the bubbling pot of pasta sauce, my mind drifting through the tangled web of the afternoon's awkward moments. The apartment was filled with the rich scent of garlic and tomatoes, a warm embrace that struggled to soothe the tightness in my chest. The creak of a door swinging open down the hall sent a shiver through my hand, halting it mid-stir. As the door creaked open, Davis and Anna stepped into the world beyond his room, their footsteps echoing softly in the quiet hallway. I inhaled deeply, urging myself to concentrate on the meal before me. Amidst the chaos of the day, the last thing I could afford was to let dinner go up in flames. Their footsteps echoed softly as they neared the kitchen, whispers drifting like a gentle breeze, almost lost in the sizzling symphony of the sauce. "Hey," Davis said, his voice a whisper of uncertainty as he crossed the threshold into the kitchen. I pivoted, crafting a smile that danced upon my lips. "Gather round, for the feast is nearly upon us." With a subtle nod, he buried his hands deep within the pockets of his jeans, a quiet moment unfolding in the air around him. Anna lingered just behind him, her arms wrapped tightly across her chest, her cheeks still aglow from the earlier moments. She gave me a small, somewhat clumsy smile, and I replied with a nod that I hoped conveyed reassurance. "It smells delightful," Anna remarked, her voice gentle and warm. With a grateful nod, I responded, my attention shifting back to the simmering pot on the stove. "It's merely pasta, nothing extravagant." The silence lingered in the air, thick and oppressive, wrapping around us like a heavy cloak. I immersed myself in the task of serving the food, believing that the rhythm of my movements might ease the palpable tension in the air. As I glanced over my shoulder, I found Davis and Anna already settled at the table, their gazes cast downward, fingers nervously dancing in their laps. As I gently placed the plates on the table, I settled into my chair, the sound of it scraping against the floor echoing in the quiet room. The soft clinking of utensils echoed through the room as we sat down to eat, the silence hanging heavy in the air. I looked over at Davis, who was prodding his meal with his fork, his jaw clenched in tension. Anna nestled next to him, her shoulders drawn in, her eyes locked onto her plate. The sharp scrape of a fork against porcelain sent a shiver down my spine. I cleared my throat, my mind racing as I sought the right words to weave into the air. "Ah, tell me, how did your day unfold?" I inquired, my voice echoing in the stillness of the room. Davis raised his gaze, a spark of astonishment dancing in his eyes. "Well, how about yours?" Engaged in thought, I responded, savoring a sip of wine. "The days have been a whirlwind of activity." He nodded, and a hush enveloped us once more. I lifted my glass once more, the chilled wine swirling within, yet it offered no solace to my restless spirit. After what seemed like a long passage of time, Davis took a moment to clear his throat. "Have you heard the whispers of the storm that's brewing for the weekend?" In that moment, my eyes widened, taken aback by the unexpected turn of conversation. "Ah, I've come across whispers of that tale." He reclined in his chair, a subtle grin dancing across his face. "It seems we're all destined to hunker down indoors. Time to gather our favorite treats for the journey ahead." Anna chuckled gently, a hint of ease washing over her shoulders. Or perhaps the enchanting world of board games. Do you recall that unforgettable moment when we gathered around the table to embark on a game of Monopoly? With a heavy sigh, Davis rolled his eyes, a familiar gesture of exasperation. Please, let's not bring that up again. It seems I find myself in your debt to the tune of $1,000,000. A soft laugh escaped my lips as the atmosphere in the room started to lighten at last. Monopoly weaves a tale of perilous competition. I've witnessed the unraveling of friendships because of it. With a playful grin, Davis felt his familiar confidence surge back to life. Indeed, Anna possesses an unyielding spirit. There's a strong feeling that she might just be hiding her true profession as an accountant. Anna flashed a playful grin, giving him a gentle nudge with her elbow. There's always a need for someone to hold you accountable. We shared a laugh, its melody bright and sincere, and for a fleeting moment, the day's earlier awkwardness melted away. As the meal unfolded, the dialogue danced effortlessly among the diners. We gathered around, sharing tales of our daily grind, diving into the latest buzz from the world, and reminiscing about a film that had captured our collective imagination not long ago. It was as if ordinary. Nearly there. As I poured another glass of wine, the vivid recollection of what I had stumbled upon earlier began to weave its way back into my thoughts. Their bodies intertwined, the expression on Davis's face as our eyes met was unforgettable. It lingered in the mind, an indelible mark on the canvas of memory. I caught sight of them, their heads huddled close as they shared secrets in hushed tones, and a peculiar blend of intrigue and unease began to bubble within me. The wine had worked its magic, and before I knew it, I found myself leaning in, my voice a hushed yet resolute whisper. Have you heard? There are a few details you both might want to refine. The words lingered in the atmosphere, thick with meaning and electric with tension. As Davis and Anna stood there, a palpable tension filled the air, their eyes growing wide with surprise as they turned to face me. As the last echoes of conversation faded away, a stillness enveloped the room, broken only by the soft, persistent hum of the refrigerator. What do you imply? Davis inquired, his tone laced with hesitation. In that moment of uncertainty, I understood, perhaps too late, that I had ventured beyond the boundaries set before me, yet the path ahead was set and retreat was not an option. Well, I began, selecting my words with intention. If you're embarking on a journey, why not ensure it's done with care and precision? Anna's cheeks turned a deep shade of crimson, while Davis's gaze locked onto mine, his expression a complete enigma. For a fleeting instant, I believed I had shattered it all. Behold the delicate treasure we had just uncovered. Yet, a soft chuckle escaped him as he shook his head in disbelief. Ah, Emma, he remarked with a playful grin. I had no idea you possessed such expertise. I arched an eyebrow, concealing the flutter of nerves within me. I've wandered through many paths in my journey. Anna let out a soft laugh, the blush on her cheeks slowly disappearing. Perhaps you could share a few insights with us. The unexpected remark took me by surprise, and I chuckled, the atmosphere in the room lightening once more. Yet, as the dialogue danced back to more cheerful subjects, an unsettling sensation lingered within me, whispering that something had shifted in the air. A line had been drawn, and uncertainty lingered in the air, leaving me to ponder its implications. For them, or perhaps for my own sake, the days that followed unfolded in a most peculiar manner. A thick, unvoiced tension hung in the atmosphere, reminiscent of the stillness that precedes a tempest. Davis and Anna danced around the memory of that dinner conversation, and I followed suit, keeping the silence alive. Yet it lay hidden, waiting in the shadows of each exchange. There were moments when I would catch Davis stealing glances in my direction, his face revealing a blend of curiosity and an elusive emotion that left me pondering. Anna would flush with color whenever our eyes locked, her gaze flitting away in an instant. The atmosphere surrounding us crackled with anticipation, a palpable tension, as if we were all on the brink of an unfolding moment. Once upon a time, there was a world where anything was possible. To unfold. I whispered to myself, urging to release it into the winds of time. It was not my role to intrude upon their bond, regardless of how that dinner dialogue had cracked open their world. Yet the recollection of what had unfolded lingered in my mind, what I had expressed. It lingered in my thoughts, echoing over and over. What happened next? Once upon a time, there existed a book, It lay hidden in the shadows of my closet, waiting patiently to be discovered. Hidden beneath a mountain of dusty photo albums and neglected trinkets, it was a tale woven around the art of intimacy. Once I had acquired it during a time when I was seeking to add a little excitement to my own marriage. Though I had yet to delve into its pages, the title alone whispered of intriguing tales waiting to be uncovered. On a quiet afternoon, as Davis and Anna ventured out, I carefully placed the book on the coffee table, its cover turned down to keep it from catching too much notice. I whispered to myself that it was merely a suggestion, a soft push toward the path I should take. Yet beneath the surface, deep down, I sensed there was something greater at play. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow in the kitchen, I found myself immersed in the rhythmic motion of chopping vegetables for dinner. Just then, Davis entered, a book clutched in his hand, ready to share a tale. My heart raced, yet I willed myself to maintain my concentration on the cutting board. "Is that you, Emma?" He spoke, his voice wavering with doubt. I gazed upward, pretending to be taken aback. "Greetings, Davis. How are you today?" He raised the book, his face a canvas of mystery. "Could this possibly belong to you?" I took a deep breath, striving to maintain a calm tone. Ah, what a delightful discovery. It emerged from the depths of my closet during a little spring cleaning adventure. I believed it could be beneficial. With a quirk of his brow, a subtle smirk danced upon his lips. "Isn't that quite useful?" I let out a small sigh, redirecting my attention to the array of vegetables before me. "I thought you might enjoy this little tidbit." For a brief moment, he held his silence, and I sensed the weight of his gaze upon me. He moved in, resting against the counter, a subtle tension in the air. "Have you come across it?" I shook my head, my eyes locked onto the cutting board, as if it held the answers I sought. "No, as I mentioned, I simply stumbled upon it." With a soft hum, he turned the pages, each one a whisper of a tale waiting to be told. "It's intricate." I let out a soft laugh, seeking to lift the spirits around me. "Ah, but therein lies the essence, doesn't it?" Once more, he fell into silence, and I sensed the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air between us. With a deliberate clearing of his throat, he prepared to share his tale. "Once upon a time, Anna and I found ourselves deep in conversation, and so we pondered, perhaps, you might share some wisdom with us." As my heart raced, I pivoted to confront him, the blade glinting ominously in my grasp. "What wisdom do you seek?" He nodded, a weight settling in his gaze. "As you mentioned during our dinner conversation, if you're feeling inclined." I gazed at him, thoughts swirling in a whirlwind of possibilities. This was a twist I hadn't seen coming, not in the slightest. Yet, the notion captivated my imagination, igniting a curiosity that beckoned me to explore further. "Is that truly the case?" I inquired, seeking to unravel the depths of his response. With a casual shrug, his smirk reappeared, hinting at a story yet to unfold. "What holds us back?" "So, you possess the experience, do you?" With a fluttering heart, I found myself caught in a moment of uncertainty. It was a line I never imagined I would dare to cross. The very idea of uttering a no felt so utterly misplaced. "All right." At last I spoke, my voice unwavering even as the butterflies danced in my stomach. "Allow me to lend a hand." The air between us thickened, transforming into a palpable energy, rich with unspoken emotions. Davis's smirk grew broader as he nodded, his gaze locked onto mine. "Wonderful," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. "We'll share the news with you when the time is right." With a deliberate turn, he stepped away from the kitchen, the book clutched firmly in his grasp. As I stood there, my heart pounding like a drum, the knife remained firmly gripped in my hand. What had I just committed to? The initial gathering was rather uncomfortable. In the quiet corner of Davis's room, I settled onto a chair I had carried in from the kitchen, striving to maintain an air of composure. The dim light enveloped the space, with the curtains tightly drawn to shield against the evening sun, and a palpable sense of anticipation hung thick in the air. Davis and Anna lay on the bed, their bodies nearly brushing, eyes darting toward me with a hint of apprehension. "Very well." I spoke, my voice unwavering even as a knot of apprehension twisted within me. "Once upon a time, we shall embark on a journey through the fundamentals." With a subtle nod, their faces revealed a blend of shyness and resolve. I inhaled deeply, urging myself to remain objective, uninvolved. This tale wasn't centered on my own journey. It was about extending a hand to others in need. Communication is key, I began, my tone weaving a narrative of professionalism. Engage in conversation, share your feelings about what brings you joy and what does not. Davis and Anna shared a fleeting look, a silent agreement passing between them, their gestures rigid and deliberate. "All right," Davis began, his voice tinged with a hint of uncertainty. "Indeed, that is within our reach." Anna offered him a gentle smile, her fingers lightly grazing his. "Indeed, once upon a time, a brave soul decided to embark on a journey of discovery." They gathered their courage and said, "Let us begin this adventure." The air crackled with anticipation as they started to shed their layers. With a swift motion, Davis shed his shirt, unveiling a lean, muscular physique, the subtle sheen of sweat catching the light on his skin. Anna stepped forward, her fingers quivering ever so slightly as she began to unbutton her blouse. I turned my eyes away for just a moment, caught in a peculiar blend of unease and intrigue. In their vulnerability and exposure, there was an unspoken strength in the grace of their movements. Anna's bra slipped from her shoulders, cascading to the floor, unveiling her gentle, graceful form, while Davis's jeans were carelessly tossed aside, leaving him clad only in his boxers. The atmosphere shifted, enveloping them in a heat that carried the intoxicating fragrance of longing. I took a moment to clear my throat, striving to keep my composure intact. "Take your time," I urged, my tone gentle and calm. "Caress her softly, Davis. Take your time." He nodded, his gaze firmly fixed on Anna's as he extended his hand to gently cradle her face, his thumb softly gliding over her cheek. As she leaned into his touch, a soft gasp escaped her lips, anticipation building as he drew closer to kiss her. At first, their movements were careful, almost unsure, but as they embraced my direction, a sense of ease washed over them. Their bodies began to sway in a dance that was both tentative and strikingly beautiful. With a calm demeanor, I replied, my voice unwavering even as warmth flushed my cheeks. "Now, Anna, take the lead. Reveal to him the things that bring you joy." With a gentle nod, she let her hands glide down his chest, leaning in close to share a secret whisper in his ear. With a shadow crossing Davis's gaze, his hands found their way to her waist, instinctively reacting to the unspoken signals between them. The session unfolded, the atmosphere thickening with warmth and a sense of closeness as time flowed on. I shared insights when the moment called for it, highlighting subtleties and inspiring them to venture into fresh dynamics. At one point, I leaned in and suggested, gesturing toward Davis, "Engage your hands more, caress her in this spot." He adhered to my guidance, his actions becoming increasingly assured as he navigated the contours of Anna's form. She inhaled sharply, her body responding as his fingers traced a path that stirred something deep within her. "That's it," I whispered, my tone soft and uplifting. And so it was. As the days passed, the gatherings multiplied, and Davis and Anna began to embrace my company with ease. The air in the room thickened with an electric tension, weaving a bond between them and in turn, pulling me deeper into their unfolding tale with every heartbeat. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the room, a subtle change began to unfold after a session that had stirred the very depths of the soul. Davis took a step back from Anna, his breath coming in labored gasps, his skin shimmering with beads of sweat. He faced me, his gaze shadowed by an emotion I struggled to identify. "Emma," he murmured, his voice rich and velvety. Time stood still, my heart racing like a wild drum in my chest. "Indeed!" He moved nearer, his aura commanding attention. In an instant, he closed the distance between us, his lips pressing against mine with a warmth that was both surprising and fervent. Time stood still as a whirlwind of thoughts and feelings surged through my mind. I ought to have stepped back. I ought to have intervened. Yet, I chose not to. The warmth radiating from him, the fervor of his kiss, the weight of it all was simply too great, too consuming. As I leaned closer, my hands quivered with anticipation, reaching out to rest on his shoulders. Just when I believed the moment had reached its peak of intensity, I sensed another presence beside me. Anna drew nearer, her hands gently settling on my hips as she leaned in, her lips meeting mine in a soft kiss. Her lips possessed a gentle softness. Her touch was tentative, yet brimming with wonder. The dual experience. Davis's firm demand for a kiss clashed with Anna's gentle, exploratory approach, creating a tension that was nearly overwhelming. My thoughts surged like a wild river, my body moving with a life of its own as I pressed my lips to theirs, the lines that separated us fading away until we were nearly one. As they finally drew back, I found myself gasping for air, my thoughts swirling in a dizzying dance. I gazed at them, my heart racing, my mind a tempest of uncertainty and longing. "Is that you, Emma?" Anna leaned in, her voice a soft murmur, almost lost in the air. Silence enveloped me as I searched for the right words that eluded my grasp. The room lay in stillness, the atmosphere heavy with unspoken words. Uncertainty enveloped me, a shroud of mystery surrounding the implications for both them and myself. Yet amidst the confusion, one truth stood clear: everything was destined to change forever. The kiss sparked a blaze inside me, a surge of feelings that I couldn't and didn't wish to overlook. As Davis's hands found their way to my waist, he drew me in, his touch a perfect blend of strength and tenderness. His lips pressed against mine with a fervor that was impossible to ignore, and I felt an instinctive pull to lean into him, my hands finding their way to his shoulders for balance. Anna lingered close, her essence unmistakable in the air around her. Her silence spoke volumes, her eyes piercing with intensity, breath catching as she observed us closely. From the periphery of my vision, I caught sight of her subtly swaying, her fingers nervously twisting the hem of her shirt. "Is that you, Emma?" Davis whispered softly against my lips, his voice rich and velvety. I drew back just a bit, thoughts swirling in a tempest within me. "Davis, we shouldn't..." But he hushed my words with another kiss, his hands gliding down to my hips. "Indeed, that sounds like a plan." A wave of guilt washed over me, yet it was swiftly eclipsed by the fervent desire that surged within. My body reacted in ways beyond my command, my heart racing fiercely within my chest. Just as I was about to voice my objections, I sensed Anna's hand on my arm, her touch both warm and hesitant. "Emma," she whispered, her voice quivering with doubt. "All is well." I glanced her way, my breath momentarily stolen from me. Her eyes sparkled with wonder, lips slightly parted as if caught in a moment of enchantment. There was a delicate vulnerability in her expression that tugged at my heart, and when her fingers grazed my skin, a shiver danced down my spine. "Do you truly believe that?" I inquired, my voice scarcely rising above a whisper. With a gentle nod, her cheeks took on a rosy hue. I desire this." Davis's embrace enveloped me, his breath a gentle warmth whispering against my ear. "We share that sentiment." The room seemed to shrink around them, the air heavy with a palpable sense of expectation, though my mind was a cacophony of warnings urging me to halt, to retreat into safety. My body was resolute, driven by an unyielding force of its own. With a sense of trepidation, I let them lead me toward the bed, my heart pounding in rhythm with each cautious step. Anna perched on the edge of the bed, her hands extending to draw me closer to her. As I settled beside her, Davis lowered himself before me, his hands gently cradling my face as he pressed his lips against mine once more, warm and fervent in their insistence. In that moment, Anna drew closer, her lips grazing my neck, her breath warm and tantalizing against my skin. The feeling was all-consuming. My thoughts whirled around like leaves caught in a tempest, struggling to make sense of it all. Davis's hands danced across the surface, his touch bold and assured, while Anna's were gentle, seeking, and curious. "Is that you, Emma?" Anna's voice brushed softly against my skin, quivering with emotion. "Is this acceptable?" I nodded, my breath catching in my throat. "Indeed." The atmosphere buzzed with energy, where each caress, each inhalation, and every hushed conversation resonated in the soft glow. In the depths of my mind, a tempest of conflicting thoughts swirled, yet my body remained anchored in the moment, reacting to the palpable heat that danced between us in ways I could scarcely comprehend. Davis's hands danced across the surface, their touch a blend of the known and the unknown. He kissed me with an insatiable desire that stole my breath away, his lips gliding down my neck, my collarbone, every inch of my skin alive with the thrill of his touch. His fingers danced along the curve of my waist, exploring the dip of my hip, each movement intentional and assured. His hands were a fortress, enveloping me with a grip that spoke of a desire to hold on forever. Anna stood by my side, her presence weaving an intricate tapestry into the fabric of the moment. Her touch was gentle, a whisper of hesitation, yet it sparked with undeniable energy. As her lips brushed softly against my shoulder, a warmth spread through me, her fingers weaving gently with mine in a tender embrace. Her gaze held a quiet intensity, a vulnerability that tugged at my heartstrings. "Emma," she murmured once more, her voice quivering with emotion. "Do you truly believe that?" I nodded, feeling a constriction in my throat. "Indeed, I am certain." Her smile was gentle, a touch bashful, as she leaned in to kiss me once more, her lips grazing mine in a manner that was both pure and profoundly personal. As Davis's hands continued their dance, each caress ignited a symphony of sensations within me, and the blend of his touch and my response was utterly intoxicating. The atmosphere was alive with the symphony of our desire, the uneven breaths, the gentle whisper of fabric, punctuated by soft gasps and murmurs of pleasure. The atmosphere was heavy with the intoxicating blend of sweat and desire, the tension between us nearly overwhelming. With my eyes shut tight, I let go of everything, the weight of my reservations, the sting of my guilt, the shadow of my fear. Embracing the present fully, everything else slipped away, revealing only the pure, unrefined bond that tied us together. In that moment, I was aware of the wrongness, yet it felt undeniably right. With a delicate touch, Davis's hands found their way to the buttons of my blouse, his fingers quivering just a bit as he carefully unfastened them, one by one. In that moment, I stood bare before the world, a mix of fragility and an unexpected sense of freedom coursing through me. As our eyes locked, a spark ignited between us, a blend of intrigue, longing, and an unnameable depth that sent my heart racing. Anna's hands intertwined with his, her touch soft and comforting. As she leaned in, her lips brushed my shoulder, a warm caress against my skin, her breath a steady warmth that lingered in the air. "You're beautiful," she whispered, her voice gentle yet brimming with heartfelt truth. A lump began to rise in my throat, while my cheeks flushed with a blend of embarrassment and delight. "So are you," I responded, my voice trembling with uncertainty. As Davis's lips danced along my neck, his hands roamed my body with a boldness that sent shivers of excitement and trepidation coursing through me. As the moments unfolded, Anna's fingers danced across my skin, her touch a delicate whisper yet charged with electricity. The experience enveloped me, a whirlwind of thoughts swirling in my mind as I endeavored to grasp it all. It was as if I found myself on the brink of a great chasm, swaying between the thrill of adventure and the grip of trepidation. "Once upon a time, there was a girl named Emma," Davis whispered softly against my skin, his voice rich and deep. "Release your grip." For a fleeting moment, I paused, my thoughts swirling like leaves in a tempest. With a deep breath, I closed my eyes and let go, embracing the moment fully. There was an undeniable bond among us, a spark that danced between the three of us, vibrant and alive. We were like three puzzle pieces, each lacking something on its own, yet forming a flawless picture when united. As the evening unfolded, the barriers between us faded away, the distinctions merging until we became an intertwined, close-knit trio. The air crackled with the intensity of our desire, the warmth enveloping us like a thick blanket, almost too much to bear. As the echoes of the moment faded, we found ourselves entwined, our breaths gradually finding their rhythm once more. In the stillness of the room, an unspoken tension lingered, thick and palpable, as if the very air bore witness to the events that had just unfolded. I glanced over at Davis and Anna, their cheeks aglow and their eyes sparkling with an indescribable emotion. "Once upon a time, there was a girl named Emma." Anna spoke gently, her hand lightly placed on my arm. "How are you holding up?" I nodded, my voice a mere breath barely escaping my lips. "Indeed. Do you find yourself in that state?" With a gentle smile, her expression radiated warmth. "Better than just okay." As Davis leaned in, his fingers gently grazed my cheek, a soft touch that lingered in the air between us. This transforms the entire narrative, doesn't it? In that moment of uncertainty, my thoughts swirled like leaves caught in a tempest. Indeed, I uttered that word, but I hold no regrets. Nor did they. In that fleeting instant, nothing else held significance. As dawn broke, the sunlight danced through the blinds, painting the kitchen in a warm, golden hue. As I stood at the counter, my hands cradled a steaming mug of coffee. The rich aroma enveloped me, anchoring me in the present moment. The echoes of the previous night danced in my mind, each memory a brushstroke of their touch, their warmth, their desire, lingering like a vivid dream that refused to fade away. The soft echo of footsteps drew my gaze, and my heart raced as Davis stepped into the room. His hair danced in disarray, his shirt bore the marks of a long day, and there was a gentle warmth in his eyes that had eluded my notice until now. With a hint of uncertainty, he offered me a small smile, reaching for a mug in the cabinet before filling it with steaming coffee. "Morning," he murmured, his voice thick with the remnants of slumber. "Morning," I responded, my voice unwavering even as a nervous flutter danced in my chest. Anna emerged moments later, her hair gathered into a casual braid, her complexion untouched by makeup. She appeared like a vision, her cheeks aglow with vitality, and her eyes sparkling with a blend of thrill and hesitation. With a gentle voice, she greeted us, her eyes dancing between Davis and me. "Morning," we both whispered, the word lingering in the air like a cherished secret between us. In the kitchen, the three of us lingered, a palpable silence weaving its way through the air around us. It wasn't exactly uncomfortable, but there was a palpable tension in the air, a silent weight that begged for acknowledgement. Anna was the one who broke the silence. "What do you think?" "Last night happened," she said, her voice quivering just a bit. As I caught sight of her, my fingers curled more firmly around the mug in my hand. Indeed it did. Davis rested against the counter, his gaze fixed intently on me. "What are your thoughts on that?" In that moment of uncertainty, my thoughts swirled like leaves caught in a whirlwind, searching for the perfect expression to convey my feelings. What emotions stirred within me? Guilty, exhilarated, confused, alive. It was a tempest of feelings that I struggled to unravel. After a moment of contemplation, I confessed, "It's intricate, yet I hold no regrets." Anna let out a breath, sharp and sudden, as though she had been waiting for the perfect moment to release it. "Neither do I," she declared, her voice steady even as a rosy hue painted her cheeks. Davis nodded, a contemplative look crossing his face. "I feel the same way." The silence enveloped the space once more, yet it carried a new essence, one that felt lighter, inviting reflection and thought. As I lifted the cup to my lips, the rich aroma enveloped me, and with that first sip, the comforting warmth of the coffee began to mend my weary spirit. "What do you think? What comes next in this unfolding tale?" Anna inquired, her voice filled with uncertainty. As I cast my gaze upon her, then shifted to Davis, a whirlwind of thoughts surged through my mind. What comes next, I wonder? This was a journey into the unknown, a road I had never envisioned traversing. Yet as I gazed upon them, feeling the bond that tied us together, I realized that turning my back was not an option. Just as I was about to speak, Anna moved in closer to Davis, her hand gently placed on his arm. "I believe we ought to delve into this," she remarked, her tone gentle yet resolute. It was the three of us together. Davis's gaze darted toward me, searching for my response. With a moment's pause, I felt my heart race within me. The notion was a captivating blend of excitement and fear, yet the attraction I experienced was impossible to ignore. "In unison?" I inquired, my voice scarcely rising above a whisper. Anna nodded, her gaze firmly fixed on mine, once united. With a sharp exhale, Davis's hand reached out, gently brushing against mine. "If you're both certain." Anna's smile was subtle yet assured as she glanced at Davis. "It seems the time has come for us to embark on this journey." With a raised eyebrow and a smirk playing at the corners of his lips, he seemed to hold a secret just out of reach. At this moment, with a gentle nod, her cheeks bloomed with color as her eyes flickered toward me. "Emma, what are your thoughts on this?" My breath hitched in my throat, yet I felt an undeniable urge to nod in agreement. As the moment unfolded, Anna leaned in closer, her lips gently grazing Davis's in a tender, lingering kiss that spoke volumes of their connection. She lowered herself before him, her fingers gliding to the waistband of his sweats. My heart raced as I observed, the atmosphere thickening with a palpable sense of anticipation. Davis's gaze locked onto mine, his expression danced between astonishment and longing. "Once upon a time there was a girl named Emma. I moved in a little closer, letting my hand gently settle on his shoulder. "Letter," I whispered, my voice quivering with emotion. Anna moved with a graceful slowness, each gesture purposeful, her touch a blend of gentleness and assuredness. She looked up at me, her eyes brimming with a subtle yet powerful intensity. "Come with me," she whispered gently. My heart raced as I knelt beside her, my hands quivering as they intertwined with hers. The bond we shared crackled with energy. The closeness of that instant was all-consuming. As the morning unfolded, we ventured into this new dynamic together, the boundaries between us melting away into something pure and unrefined. The room resonated with the echoes of our fervent connection, the atmosphere heavy with the fragrance of longing. As the echoes of the moment faded, we found ourselves side by side on the kitchen floor, our breaths gradually finding their rhythm once more. The silence enveloped us, thick and profound, yet it carried a serene tranquility, a shared understanding weaving its way through the stillness between us. It was a moment heavy with unspoken thoughts, and I finally broke the stillness with those words. "This won't be easy. There are challenges and intricacies to consider. Yet if we find ourselves united in understanding, perhaps, just perhaps, we can weave a tapestry of success together." As Davis's hand grazed mine, a wave of warmth and comfort enveloped us, a silent promise shared in that fleeting moment. "We'll take it one day at a time," he said, his voice unwavering. Anna extended her hand, her fingers weaving together with mine. With a gentle tone, she continued, her words laced with unwavering belief. I gazed upon them, sensing the bond that tied us together, and a wave of an indescribable emotion washed over me, perhaps a glimmer of hope, or perhaps something even more profound. In unison, I nodded, my voice unwavering, even as a flurry of butterflies danced in my stomach. The conversation came to a close, yet the unvoiced understanding lingered, suspended in the atmosphere, like a quiet vow. And so it began, a new chapter unfolding before us, with the promise that whatever lay ahead, we would confront it side by side. The days that followed unfolded like a tapestry of emotions, each thread weaving together guilt, desire, and an elusive feeling that danced just beyond my grasp. The interplay among Davis, Anna, and myself evolved in unexpected ways, morphing into a bond that transcended societal expectations and redefined my perceptions of love, intimacy, and connection. Initially, the weight of guilt was all-consuming. A nagging sensation lingered within me, whispering that our actions were misguided, that I was somehow violating an unarticulated moral compass. Each fleeting glance, every delicate touch, and every softly spoken word shared between us carried an air of secrecy, leaving me to ponder the true nature of my desires. Did I act out of selfishness in desiring this? Was I gambling it all for a fleeting moment that could never endure? Yet, amidst it all, there were those precious moments that illuminated the journey. As Davis's hand would gently graze mine in the hallway, a spark of connection ignited. Anna's eyes, soft and warm, would light up with a smile just for me. Those shared mornings and late nights wrapped us in a cocoon of quiet intimacy, each moment a thread woven into the fabric of our story. Those moments resonated with authenticity, pure and unmistakable. As the moments unfolded, Davis and I felt an undeniable bond forming between us. The lines that once separated us as stepmother and stepson began to fade, giving way to a bond that was both gentle and profound. In the space between us, a silent agreement lingered, a subtle recognition of the intricate tapestry of our emotions. As the night settled in and Anna drifted off to sleep, Davis and I found ourselves in the cozy embrace of the living room, just the two of us, with the world outside fading away. The stillness enveloped us, a cozy yet electric atmosphere, heavy with the weight of things left unsaid. "Emma," he finally uttered, his voice soft and uncertain. "Have you ever found yourself wishing you could change the past?" As I gazed upon him, my heart danced in my chest. At times I found myself confessing, yet it unfolds differently than you might imagine. In the shadows of my mind, the weight of guilt and the chill of fear linger, haunting my every thought. Yet, it is not the path we tread, nor the essence we have taken on. He nodded, a contemplative look crossing his face. In the depths of my heart, I resonate with that sentiment. It's a tangled web of emotions, yet somehow it feels just as it should. As I extended my hand, it found a gentle resting place upon his. Indeed, it does. That conversation became a pivotal moment in our journey together. Our conversations blossomed as we unveiled our innermost thoughts, fears, and desires to one another. The journey was not without its challenges. In the shadows, uncertainty loomed, weaving a tapestry of tension and doubt. Yet we navigated those challenges side by side, our bond growing stronger with every moment that unfolded. Anna wove herself into the fabric of our dynamic, her essence bringing both harmony and depth to the relationship. Her presence was a soothing balm, a steady anchor amidst the swirling tempest of emotions that danced between Davis and me. One afternoon, as the three of us gathered in the backyard, Anna turned to me, her expression grave and thoughtful. "Emma, do you ever sense that perhaps this is all a bit overwhelming?" With a moment of pause, I weighed my words with great care. At times, I finally spoke up. Yet as I gaze upon both of you, the thought of it being any different feels utterly unimaginable. With a gentle smile, her eyes glimmered with warmth. "I feel the same way. It may not align with my expectations, yet it resonates deeply within me. There's a sense of harmony between you two." Her words resonated deeply within me, stirring a wave of appreciation for the light she brought into our lives. She was the thread that wove us into a tapestry, her empathy and embrace granting us the freedom to navigate this unique bond without the weight of scrutiny. Amidst the deepening bond we shared, I found myself wrestling with a tumult of guilt and uncertainty. On those long, restless nights, I found myself wide awake, pondering the choices I had made, grappling with the fear that I might be steering us toward a fate filled with sorrow. Yet amidst it all, there were those precious moments that rendered everything meaningful. In the embrace of Davis, I felt a warmth that wrapped around me like a soft blanket. Anna's laughter danced in the air, a melody that brought joy to our hearts. Each moment we shared was a whisper of connection, a gentle reminder of the bond we cherished. In those fleeting instances, I found clarity about the journey I had embarked upon, the reasons behind my choices, and the significance of those I had embraced along the way. One night, as the three of us lay intertwined, the truth of our circumstances washed over me with a startling clarity. It transcended mere desire or curiosity. It was a quest for connection, a journey to uncover something genuine and significant in a world that frequently seemed hollow and unpredictable. With a soft breath, I confessed my affection for you both, the words escaping my lips before I had the chance to hold them back. The air grew still, and in that fleeting moment I questioned whether my words had crossed a line. But then Anna extended her hand, her fingers weaving together with mine. With a gentle whisper, she replied, "I love you too." With a firm embrace, Davis's arms wrapped around me, his voice a soothing whisper in the quiet night, "And I cherish you deeply." Those words, both simple and profound, signaled a pivotal moment in our journey. We had ventured into uncharted territory, and retreat was no longer an option. Yet, as I gazed upon them, feeling the bond that intertwined our lives, I realized deep down that I was reluctant to let go. As the weeks gracefully transformed into months, we found ourselves embracing a rhythm, our lives weaving together in intricate patterns, both grand and subtle. In the shadows of society, our unique bond thrived, hidden from the prying eyes of the world, and we took great care to maintain that secrecy. Yet, nestled within the embrace of our home, we discovered a tranquility and a feeling of belonging that was unlike anything I had ever known. Challenges arose, as they often do. Whispers of hesitation, shadows of trepidation, and the fog of the unknown. Yet, we confronted them side by side, our connection deepening with every challenge we triumphed over. The tale concludes with a sense of ambiguity, yet brims with optimism, leaving the future wide open for interpretation. What we shared may not have been flawless, but it was undeniably genuine. And for the moment, that was sufficient. The echoes of our choice unfolded in a tapestry of beauty and complexity. Life didn't suddenly transform into a simpler journey. Indeed, it transformed into a greater challenge in numerous aspects. Yet it transformed into something far more rich, full, and vibrant than I ever dared to envision. In the tapestry of our connection, we wove together the threads of understanding, the three of us discovering a harmony that resonated with our hearts. There were moments when the journey was anything but smooth. In the shadows of the heart, jealousy whispered its presence. Whispers of uncertainty. There were times when the burden of our actions seemed nearly too much to bear, yet we engaged in conversation. In every moment, our words flowed freely. It was through the art of sharing our thoughts and feelings that we wove the fabric of our connection, a thread that kept us united even when the world around us seemed intent on tearing us asunder. The guilt lingered like a shadow, never entirely fading, yet it softened its grip, whispering rather than shouting. In the dance of my emotions, I discovered a delicate balance where my heart would take flight in their presence, while my mind would softly murmur doubts of right and wrong. I discovered that love often defies neatness and simplicity, refusing to conform to the boxes society attempts to impose upon it. As the days unfolded, Davis and I found ourselves weaving a bond deeper than I had ever imagined. Our relationship, initially shaped by the complexities of step-family dynamics, transformed into something profound, transcending any labels that could confine it. He transformed into my trusted companion, my ally, and in countless ways, my steadfast support. The way he gazed at me, the way his fingers brushed against my skin carried a profound depth that enveloped me in a sense of being truly seen, deeply understood, and wholeheartedly cherished. Anna was the anchor in our trio, her serene and reflective nature providing harmony amidst the fervor that often sparked between Davis and me. With a gentle smile, she had the remarkable ability to ease the tension in the air, inviting us to take a moment to pause and savor the beauty of now. Her love for Davis stood strong, yet her affection for me remained just as steadfast. It was that beautiful balance that brought our relationship to life. The world beyond our walls remained blissfully ignorant of the reality we harbored, and we took great care to ensure it stayed that way. We were acutely aware of the dangers, the scrutiny, the societal labels, and the possible consequences, yet we found ourselves unprepared to confront them. In the shadows of our existence, we carved out a sanctuary, where whispers of affection danced in the air, and the world outside faded away. The journey was not without its challenges. In those moments, the weight of secrecy pressed down on me, a heavy cloak that stifled my spirit. I yearned to proclaim my love for them to the world, to let my voice soar high above the rooftops. Yet such desires were but brief flickers, quickly dimmed by the profound joy and deep connection we wove together. As I find myself in this moment, pen in hand, the horizon ahead shimmers with both mystery and promise. We are journeying through each day, carefully and thoughtfully charting our course along this unique road. The path ahead remains a mystery, shrouded in uncertainty for us. Perhaps we will discover a path to express our love freely, to welcome it without trepidation. Perhaps we shall linger in the shadows, discovering comfort in the hushed moments we embrace together. Or perhaps this will all come tumbling down, the burden of our decisions too heavy to carry. For the moment, my attention is drawn to the here and now, to the love and bond we've created. It's tangled, it's intricate, and it's all that I never realized I was longing for. Our tale may not be flawless, but it belongs to us. And for the moment, that will suffice. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and leave your comments because it is very important for the development of the channel and gives you ideas to continue collecting stories and sharing the next stories. Wishing you always joy and happiness. See you again in the next video. Goodbye.